Namaskaram to all. Let's continue the lesson evolution. Now, evidences from comparative anatomy. Similarities in structure between groups of organisms are accepted as indicators of relationship. For example, a comparative study of the forelimbs of different vertebrates exhibits a fundamental plan of similarity in structure. So these relationships can be studied under homologous organs, analogous organs, vestigial organs, connecting links, and atavistic organs. Homologous structures. Structures which are similar in origin but perform different functions are called homologous structures that brings about divergent evolution. For example, forelimbs of terrestrial vertebrates shows the homology. For example, bird, bat, whale, cat, horse, human. The forelimbs, the bones are similar in structure, but it shows different function. For example, bird and bat use forelimbs for flying. Whale use forelimbs for swimming. Cat use forelimbs for digging. Horse use for gallop. Human being using forelimb for operating minute objects. Analogous structures, it is just opposite to homologous. Here organisms having different structural patterns but similar function are termed as analogous structures, which brings about convergent evolution. For example, the wings of birds and insects are different structurally but performing same function. Next, vestigial organs. Structures that are of no use to the possessor and are not necessary for their existence are called vestigial organs. Vestigial organs were well developed and functional in the ancestors but disappeared in the course of evolution due to their non-utilization at present. For example, tail. Our ancestors have had tail, but we don't have tail. Vestigial organs include wisdom teeth, ear muscles, body hair, mammae in male, nictitating membrane, and appendix in human beings. Next, connecting link. The organisms which possesses the characters of two different groups are called connecting links. For example, peripatus is a connective link between Annelida and Arthropoda. Annelida worm-like structure, Arthropoda having jointed legs. So peripatus has both the characters. Archaeopteryx, it's a fossil evidence which is a connecting link between reptiles and aves, which shows both the characters. It has the feathers like aves and bone, that is bone marrow in the bone like reptiles. Next, atavistic organs. Sudden appearance of vestigial organs in highly evolved organisms is called atavistic organs. Example, presence of tail in a human baby is an atavistic organ. Next, embryological evidence. Embryology deals with the study of the development of individual from the egg to the adult stage. A detailed study of the embryonic development of different forms makes us to think that there is a close resemblance during development. The development of heart in all vertebrate shows the connective link, that is evolution from the pisces to mammals. For example, pisces having two-chambered heart, amphibians three-chambered heart, reptiles also three-chambered, but crocodile have four-chambered heart, birds, mammals also having four-chambered heart. So it shows the evolution, gradual development. Okay, so next, Ernst von Haeckel propounded the biogenetic law or the theory of recapitulation, which states that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Ontogeny means the life history of an individual. Phylogeny means the evolutionary history of the race. So it is an example for that human tail. Okay, next, molecular evidences. Molecular evolution is the process of change in the sequence composition of molecules such as DNA, RNA and proteins across generations. Theories of biological evolution. Lamarck's theory. Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck was the first to postulate the theory of evolution in his famous book Philosophie Zoologique. He proposed two principles, the theory of use and disuse and the theory of inheritance of acquired characters. In the theory of use and disuse, he said the organs that are used often will increase in size and those that are not used will degenerate. For example, neck of giraffe is used, so the neck in giraffe is developed or grown up. Okay, the size of the neck of giraffe has increased. Example for disuse theory. Limbs in snakes, forelimbs and hind limbs in snakes are disappeared for because it don't want the limbs. To escape from the predator, it has to run fast, so the limbs are now like obstacles, so it lost the limbs. It is the example for disuse theory. Next, theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Characters that are developed during the lifetime of an organism are called acquired characters, and these are then inherited. But it was objected strongly by August Weismann, who conducted experiments on mice for 20 generations by cutting their tails and breeding them. When he cut the mice and allowed for breeding, the puppies, that is the offsprings, getting the tail again. So all mice born were with tail. Weismann proved that change in the somatoplasm will not be transferred to the next generation, but changes in the germ plasm will be inherited. New Lamarckism. The followers of Lamarck like Cope, Osborn, Packard and Spencer tried to explain Lamarck's theory on a more scientific basis. They considered that adaptations are universal. Organisms acquire new structures due to their adaptation to the changing environmental conditions. They argued that external conditions stimulate the somatic cells to produce certain secretions which reach the sex cells through the blood and brings about variations in the offsprings.